Hi, so we're going to be making this foldable hand fan. Yeah, guess what I used to make it? My gilly of 12 years ago. Alright, so let's get into what we're going to be making use of. So we're going to be making use of scissors. Yeah, then this is your skeleton hand fan. Then uvu gum, mine almost dried out. Then your biro, then your needle and thread, then your scissors, zigzag scissors, then your measurement tape, your pad, and your gilly. We'll add pencil and elastic band also. Now we're set. So you take your skeleton hand fan, you open it all up. The first one that touches the ground, you're going to take your tape, whatever tape you can find. I made use of masking tape, and stick the tip and the one that is close to the edge so that the skeleton hand fan doesn't move. Then you take the top one, as I'm doing, can you see what I'm doing, and you start using it to form your semicircle. Now there are various ways to do it, but this one worked out best for me to get the exact shape that I require. You can make use of carton because what we're doing is to get our pattern that we're going to use to cut out from the gilly, or any material you want. So you can make use of carton to do this pattern, but I made use of the thickest, hardest pad that is found in the market. You can find it in tailoring materials. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using the edge of the hand fan to get the first line. Then you know where the other edge starts, the bent place there. Can you see that side there where the other part of the skeleton starts? So I'm using it to make the second shape. You know, the material is going to be put from the beginning, from the tip of the skeleton hand fan to where you have that measurement I'm taking now. So I'm using this one to form the second line of my semicircle. Okay, so that's the way you do it. Actually plan to use, in fact I actually did a recording before using the biro and that method, but it didn't give me my skeleton hand fan very well, so I'm giving you the one that worked out for me. So I did that and measured from there to there to check all. It was like 5 inches. Don't make 5 inches as yours, because I noticed all my skeleton hand fan, their length were different. So but because this was 5 inches, I decided to check all, do you understand, with 5 inches to see whether it was matching. So what I'm doing now is just to check to ensure that all of them are flowing at the right side, do you understand, stopping at where it should stop. You get? Okay, so I just cross-checking all to ensure, because I had an issue with the first one. So just keep learning. You see what happened was that I noticed the other skeleton now, it doesn't, the length is different from that first one I used, so I now had to change to use the second one. So depending on your skeleton hand fan, the aim is that your material should start and stop at that edge, should start at the tip and stop at that edge. So if you notice that the other what they call it, hands are a different length, make use of that hand, not the first hand. So that's what I'm doing right now to get my second measurement. So the next step is to free your skeleton hand fan from your base, your pattern rather. Okay, then I'm going to take my straight scissors, not the zigzag scissors, and cut out my pattern. Ensure you follow the line you created so that you would get the right material size to form your foldable hand fan, and it will fit perfectly. Okay, so I'm cutting out the second part like so. Keep watching and learning. Okay, so now you take your material. Mine is my 12-year-old gilly. Alright, so I place my pattern on top. So that's what you do, and then I'm going to trace it out. Don't mind me, what was I waiting for? I was waiting for something. Okay, my biro. Alright then, so I trace it out with my biro. Of course, if I use my pencil at this particular point in time, I would not be able to see it. So take note, is the back of your material you make use of. You don't want to start seeing biro marks, do you? All right, or you make use of chalk, but you have to be careful when using chalk so that you're able to cut it out straight. All right, so now I take my zigzag scissors at this particular point in time so I can have the zigzag, what do you call it, the edge looking zigzaggy. All right, so that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting out the pattern that I have. If your material frails, I don't advise you use zigzag scissors or straight scissors because your material will frail. You might have to cut, when you finish cutting, you would need to use fire and burn the edges. Or I think there's this frail material gum that I see that it's used to stop frays. Fray something, I can't remember, so that it doesn't fray, as in that's bring out threads at the edges. All right, but of course, you know, gele doesn't bring out threads, so this is what I did. So once you're done, you take your skeleton hand fan. Now you want to make sure that as you spread them all out, they are at equal lengths. First, they must start and end how your pattern cut. Do you understand? You don't want it extending below your hand fan, your pattern that you have cut out. So that's what I'm checking right now. Then I'm spreading them apart. They have to be equally spread apart as much as you can with your eyes so that they would fold perfectly well. And you want to make sure that you don't miss any part of the hands of the skeleton. That's one hiding one place and the rest. The first one I made, oh no, it wasn't, one moved further apart than the other, and it was not, as in I was meant to use one, I didn't use that one, I used the one underneath like that. So you have to check, ensure that each one comes out. You are not missing out anyone at all. Don't let one go ahead of the other because they can do that. So how you do that is you check, you know, they keep on climbing in steps. So once you see one missing the step, then you know that something is happening there. Then just be careful and ensure that all comes out well. So right now I'm just spreading them out in equal pattern as much as my eyes can see. If you can't use your eyes, you can use a tape to measure each one after you have spread to see, to make sure that you have equal length as possible. When I mean equal length, I mean the measurement between one hand and another hand is the same as the other ones. Okay, so now I have spread all apart and I'm checking to see how it fits, that it hits that second layer well. That's the issue I had with the first one I made. It didn't hit that second layer well, but this is hitting the second layer well, and also the tip of the skeleton hand fan. So this is right. Yeah. Okay, so what I did was to first of all glue the middle one. So I put my uhu gum on that hand. Forgive my uhu gum that it was finishing, but I have replaced it, thank God. Alright, so I did the middle one first of all like so. Okay, yeah, then once I was done, I started doing all the other hands. You know what I did, what I noticed was that for my own skeleton hand fan, take note, all skeleton hand fan may differ. To make them almost equal, the tips of that second layer would touch, just the tips lightly. Once they touch, that's what made mine to give an equal separation, but yours might not work like that, so you need to check it out well. Okay, so now I'm putting uhu gum on all the hands on one side. Take note, this one I'm putting all on top. There will be a change on the other side, so please watch carefully. Keep watching and learning. Okay, so you can see we're doing the other side now. Take note, that first hand that is up there, the one that has the pattern, you are not going to put your glue on top as you put on the other side, the one that has that pattern on top. Okay, so you take this underneath. Did you see what I did now? Not on top, but underneath. So I'm going to put my glue underneath. I hope you understand. For the other side, we put it on top. And if you noted, the skeleton hand fan actually puts the pattern where it should be. Like you can see now, the back one here, the pattern is underneath there. But this one that we put it underneath, the pattern is on top. That's what they scribbled on top. So that's what I'm going to do. So I did it like so. And I'm going to use my zigzag scissors to cut out that excess that I have on mine. You might not have when you finish yours, so it depends. But mine, I had that excess which I cut out, trimmed closely there. And I'm going to also trim the other side. You can, depending on the material you use, you can actually fold it to the back. But since I'm using zigzag scissors, which straighten it out and gives it a pattern like so, I just trimmed mine out to look lovely. So that's it. So the next thing we're going to do is to fold our hand fan. Now can you see how you fold it? Like this, you just keep on pushing it to the other, like that. I think I will show you how to do that again. Okay, so let's take it again. So you fold it like so. I don't know how to explain it, but like you're bending the material from the last hand fan down like that, and you keep folding. I'm sure by the time you do it, you get the hand of it. It kind of like folds by itself, sort of, when you start clipping it like that. So just keep watching and learning. So once you've gotten it well, the next thing you do is you take your elastic band and you're going to hold it up and leave it like that, at least for a day. The next day, by the time you open it, it would have taken up its pattern. Thank you for watching.